Hi, can you hear me? Who else? If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. Perfect. Thank you for coming and joining us at Seeds of Time. I know your time at convention is valuable, and so the fact that you came here and are joining us, I'm very appreciative of that. What we're doing today is we'll have a presentation with Elizabeth, as you know, and then right after she'll be doing a book signing and a meet and greet. So if you'd like to stick around, you can purchase her book right here and bypass the line. So it's a little trick. You can bring all of your product here to purchase as long as you buy one of her books. We'll check you out fast here. And with that being said, I'll bring Elizabeth on up on stage. Thank you.
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? You enjoying this convention? We are so blessed. So blessed to be here. This is our tribe. How amazing is that? So I have some cheat notes because as most people who know me, they know I go off on a tangent and I might just stop talking about something else. So we're going to stick to my notes and I'll make it short and sweet. Even though I'm going to start with my adoption at 4 days old. My mom received a phone call. Hey, Jenny, Dr. Adonizio just delivered a baby girl and the mother can't keep her. Do you want her? That's the way it went down in 1957. I was raised in a Catholic Italian family. Knowing that I came from the Indians in a little mushroom basket. That's the story I got. No lie. So synchronicities have shown me the sequence of events happening exactly the way they were supposed to. At the same time, my mother got the phone call, did she want to adopt me? The doorbell was ringing and my dad answered the door. And my dad got a little box, and in this little box was dirt from St. Kateri Tekakwitha's grave. My mom, being Catholic Italian, used to send away for her relic. Oh, it's going to be prayers more if you buy this dirt. So she did. She bought the dirt from St. Kateri's grave. And one thing led to another and led to another. So I was raised Catholic Italian family, knowing the Indians brought me to I married my high school sweetheart, and we have one son, Marco. He's doing the video down there in the back. Sequence of events. I became the first female welder in all of New England electric system. Way back in the day, 1984, I was the first certified female welder. Advancing to welding inspector and then field engineer. I didn't get a medal or anything like that. But after a debilitating injury and conventional medicine failed me, I began seeking alternative healing. I found a woman who did shiatsu, Nancy. She led me to visit a lady who did shamanism. Back in the day, shaman was toilet paper. Please don't raise the shaman. She was a shaman. What's a shaman? So I went to see that lady, Judy, and I walked in her office. There was a dead carcass hanging on the wall, and there was feathers over here. And she said, lay on the floor. I hobbled into your office. I mean, lay on the floor. Maybe you'd never be able to get up. She said, no, I'll help you up. So she shook a rattle over me and said, can I spray you? This lady spit all over me. In a 1 hour session, she said to me, can you get up? I started wiggling my hips left and right. I said, lady, I don't know who the blank you are, what the blank you just did to me, but I got to learn that blank. Welder in the power plant, you can imagine what those blanks were. If it was good, it was good. If it was blank or good, it was phenomenal. So I said, lady, I don't know what you just did. I'm going to learn that. She looked at me and said, honey, first you learn no vocabulary, and then I will teach you. I began studying with Judy that very day. And that was the beginning of keeping the medicine sacred to your heart. When I came home and told Dad I was going to study shamanism, he said, "Do what? You're going to go where? You want to go to Peru? What are you, nuts? They rape nuns in Peru." No. He took me up and down the East Coast. We looked for a shaman all over New England. Back in the day, there were none willing to teach me. So I studied with Judy and her teachers and their teachers, and I ended up in Peru studying with the teachers. And one thing led to another, and next thing I know, I had the shamans from Peru staying at my house for weeks at a time. And hubby went from, "No, if you get weird on me, I'm going to make you stop," to the place where he said, "How long are they staying?" So I traveled to Peru and I studied with the teachers and shamanism and lineage. These ancient ways were way more than prayer. It was walking hand in hand with the Creator that gave me the breath of life. It was a passion that couldn't be quenched. In 2010, my first book was born, published under a pen name, because of course, I couldn't tell Al I wrote this book. If I told Al Mother Mary came and channeled a book to me, it would certainly put me in the nut house. So I published my first book, Ancient Wisdom, under Elizabeth Rainbow Dancer. True story. I'll never forget my first book signing. Standing up at the podium, nervous as anything. And I went to walk out to the podium and I had my notes right there. I always have my cliff notes. And my 6 sister-in-laws were in the front row. These are all my sister-in-laws who they thought I was nuts. I was the one going to the room, doing what? What is she doing now? And I looked at my notes and I went to say, "Thank you all for coming." And all that went out was a squeak. It was like, "Thank." And I started, the floodgates opened and I started crying. And all my notes about it. And I looked at my notes and I said, "Oh my God, the notes are all wet." And Bobby was behind me and he said, "Just pretend you're yelling at me and you'll be fine." Well, I couldn't get enough fast enough. I had to learn all the healing techniques and I was reading 3 or 4 books at a time. Dr. Norma Milanovich's book, The Light Shall Set You Free, fed my soul. I couldn't get enough of this fast enough. So one day, I'm sitting on my porch with my headphones and I'm listening to Dr. Norma Milanovich's CDs. She had very inspirational newsletters and CDs, and I had ordered all her past newsletters. And I had my headphones on, just chilling on the porch, my dog sitting there. And all of a sudden, my phone rings. So I take one headphone in my ear, put the cell phone in my left ear, and I have the headphone in my right ear. And Dr. Norma Milanovic is in my left ear, and she's also in my right ear on the CD. So I said to her, "Oh my God, Norma, you're in my left ear and you're in my right ear." Well, after an hour conversation, I said to her, "How do I get you to come to Rhode Island?" She said, "Invite me." I said, "You're invited." She said, "I'm coming." I said, "Oh my God, Dr. Norma Milanovic in Johnston, Rhode Island? Like, what a big deal this is. Like, this was phenomenal." There were people that flew in from all over the world to come and see her workshop and hear her talk. She was wonderful. You know what she did? She introduced me to Young Living Essential Oils. So, Dr. Norma, I'm telling you, I fell in love with these oils. My studies fed my soul and ignited my desire to learn even more. We went to every convention, read every book, met everyone who had anything to do with these oils. I became 5 times certified in Dr. David Stewart's CARE, Center for Aromatherapy Research and Education program. I'm certified in Raindrop, Vitaflex, Emotional Release, Biblical Oils, and the chemistry of essential oils. Who would have ever thought I'd be getting involved with chemistry? Didn't know me in high school, but it became my absolute love. And all these certifications were added to my already growing resume. Doctor of Divinity, author, Reiki Master Teacher, Feedback Specialist, Shamanic Practitioner and Teacher, and Quantum Healing Hypnosis Therapy Expert. So one day, I'm at the American Society of Dowsers. I got invited to be a speaker at the Dowsers. And the night before their convention, they line up everybody and stay, at the stage. And one by one, all the speakers that are going to take place that week are lined up at the stage. And they have 1 minute on stage with the microphone, 1 minute, to say who they are and what they're teaching. So I'm waiting in line to get my turn, and the woman in front of me gets up. And she gets up on stage and she grabs the microphone and says, "Hi, my name's Mary Hardy." And I went, "Oh my God, that's that lady." I send my witness to her whenever I get sick. She analyzes it, follows me up with a remedy. I've been doing this for 12 years. She's always got the right remedy for my issues, and all I have to do is send her. She spit on a Kleenex, she put it in an envelope, send it to her. She analyzes it, calls you out with a recipe. Always wrote. She got me out of more issues. I was sure it was that Mary Hardy. I said, "Oh my God." She hands me the mic. It's my turn to speak. And I wanted to go, "No, don't leave." So I meant to say who I was speaking as I watched Mary Hardy walk up in the auditorium. And I thought, "Oh my God, I'm never going to find her among all these people." Sure enough, I get off the stage and I'm asking everybody, "Do you know Mary Hardy?" I'm asking everybody. Next day at lunchtime, Suzanne Dillon comes, grabs my wrist, drags me through 800 people. "Hurry up, come with me." She drags me across the cafeteria. "Elizabeth Desrochers, this is Mary Hardy. Mary Hardy, this is Elizabeth Desrochers." This woman looked at me, she said, "Wow, about 45 people tell me you were looking for me. What can I do for you?" We had the most amazing conversation, and Mary invited me to her group in Michigan to teach shamanism to her group of Sisterhood of the Emerald Fire, a group of ordained ministers who pray all over the world. So I went to visit Mary, went to teach in Michigan. Mary is my upline diamond. We have the most amazing lineage of upline. We have Ferguson, Mary Hardy, Amabella Steri, we have Dottie Nunman, and this is just Dr. Norma Milanovic. This is my tribe. These are my people who love like I love, who want to heal the world, who want to help each other in amazing ways. Mary's sisterhood group has become our oil. We traveled together, we did all the GoPro events, we did all the conventions, studied together with the most powerful healers on the planet. I was also going back and forth to Peru, bringing groups to the remote mountains to do ceremony and prayer. And then I was guided to study with Dolores Cannon. And at that time, I was teaching them, like, yeah. I'm here. I talk to Creator like I'm talking to him. Just a way of fun. I don't care. My niece calls it energy. It's the same thing. Which gave me the breath of life. I'm like, yeah. I'll study with Dolores Cannon next year. I'm too busy this year. And I heard loud and clear, "No, you must study with her now. She's not going to be there much longer." 3.5 years to the day. When I got on a plane that next week and I went to Arkansas to study with Dolores. Now, tell you a little bit about Dolores Cannon. She was an amazing woman. Her husband was the hypnosis guy in the military. And he used to do stop smoking and lose weight. Well, got in an accident. And he couldn't do that anymore. So Dolores picked up the baton and said, well, if we're getting that when we do stop smoking and lose weight, what happens if we go deeper than that? And they did. This was in the 60s. Dolores Cannon was one of the first people who realized in that deep state of hypnosis, people were dropping into past lives. She has written 19 books based on her work with her clients. She's an amazing woman. Check her out. Dolores Cannon. So when she started getting past lives, she was very curious. She said, well, if we're getting that when we go deep, what happens if we go deeper than that? So, quantum healing hypnosis therapy. This technique brings people to their deepest intuition where they access their higher consciousness that has all the accurate answers. And all of them can be verified. Names, dates, times, and places can be verified as proof. So one of the ancient ways that I've learned is dowsing. And I'm going to try this with me today. I think you might like it. If everyone would just stand up for a moment, I'm going to tell you how we select the appropriate oil. Get yourself centered. Make that connection to that which gave you, however you feel, see, or imagine that energy. And imagine a little bottle of oil right in line. Let's take a little bottle of lavender and hold it at your solar plexus. When you address the question to the reader, is it in my highest and best interest to use this oil? Your body should lean into the oil. She says this, she's got lavender right here. Bless you. So your body will move towards something. When it likes something, when it's good for you, it will move towards it. When it's not good for you, it will push you away. Verify this with something you know is really good, like some really pure wood. Is it in my highest and best interest to have this for you? I should be wrong. And if the pencil in your, put your pencil at your solar plex and ask, is it in my highest and best interest to keep this pencil? Your body better go backwards. If it doesn't, then I guarantee you're not hydrated. You need to drink a whole glass of water, and then it won't work. So you can give this a try when you get home. But this is something we teach. This is something we teach to all of our downline, all of our students. In the oils. Okay, so years get on, and I'm getting a little bit older. Well, 2018, I came down with internal tremors. Body was shaking on the inside. My primary care doctor said it was in my head. I'm gonna tell you what I felt about that. He's not my primary care doctor. Went to see a friend in Illinois who did live blood analysis. If you go to my YouTube channel, Elizabeth Rainbow Dancer, you will see there's over 138 videos there now. Some of them are from the quantum healing sessions, but there are several of my live blood analysis. And you will see as the blood droplet is drying, this beautiful silver circle comes around the outside of the blood droplet. And I said to my friend, my dear friend, Pam, oh, isn't that pretty? It looks like a Christmas ornament. She said, honey, that's heavy metal poisoning. And what? And then she put another droplet on there. It was blowing up like a balloon and popping. I'm like, oh, look how cute. It's popping like a balloon. No, honey, you have apoptosis. You're witnessing your blood dying before your eyes. I had heavy metal poisoning, parasites, Lyme disease, brown rugose spider bite, and candida, which is excess sugar in the body. Help me now. If I had to weld 16-hour day, there was nothing open on Eddy Street in Providence for me to go get lunch. My lunch was at 2 o'clock in the morning. We went to Dunkin' Donuts. With Dunkin' Donuts, I could have a medium Dunkin' Donuts coffee with 7 sugars, well, 7 more hours without a break. After doing that for so many years, I destroyed what health was in the body. But I knew I was going to get better. How did I know this? Young Living Essential Oils and Products. I detoxed my entire home because realize now with that kind of heavy metal poisoning, I couldn't even put a normal shampoo on my head. My hair was falling out. So I ended up swapping everything over to Young Living and gaining my health back. If you want details of the detox, they're in my books. The Elizabeth book is my life story. And this is from adoption to, I'm not going to tell you the last chapter. You come talk to me later, I'll tell you that last chapter of how I met my 2 biological sisters. Not appropriate. The MESA 101 book is my shaman class. I have been teaching shamanism for 25 plus years. This book, my students have been asking me to put the note. Give me the notes, give me the notes. There were no notes in the mountains of Peru. There were no notes. This was my notes. For them in shorthand. It took me a year to decipher my own shorthand. But this is the notes. There's no secrets. The details are here. So I welcome, if you buy this book, and then here, both books are here. If you buy this book and you have any questions, my phone number is in this book. Call me if you have any questions. All right, so I have to keep on track. Can't go over. Your time is valuable. So what I want you to take away from here today is I want you to remember the oils are alive. They are alive with God's life force. The same life force that resides in every one of us. These oils are like the blood in the veins of the plants. We have the ability with these oils to raise consciousness and vibration. When our vibration is raised, we have wellness. We can conquer things. We can achieve things. The right oil in the right place will help you move boundaries that are coming from you from all places of the mind, the body, the spirit, the emotions. It's all right here at our fingertips. Working with ancient wisdom and sacred traditions, we have a responsibility to teach others, to share the oils in a sacred way. They are living, breathing, botanical brilliance that affects us on all levels of the mind, body, spirit, and emotions. My wish is for you to walk away inspired, to connect in the sacredness of the oils, to share with those you love. You can't keep this stuff to yourself. You have to share it. You have to help other people with this. This is the cheat notes. These are the shortcuts. Look to your elders. Look to your upline. They have the answers. They've already been through what you're going through. That's what your upline is all about. Get on the phone. Call your upline. Start asking questions. And if you don't get answers, call somebody else. Keep up. Keep up with the good. So my wish for you is to walk away inspired, to connect in the sacredness of the oils and share with those you love, to keep the medicine sacred to your heart. I want to thank Mary Young and the Young Living family and Lindy at Seeds of Time. You can find my books here at the Seeds of Time store, and they're also on Amazon.com. The MESA 101 book is my shaman class. The Elizabeth book is my life story. You can reach me at, my email is eliz, E-L-I-Z, at ancientwiz.com. And the websites are www.ancientwiz.com. And I will have business cards here if you want to come grab a business card. And I'm also going to do a book signing. So if you want to stick around. So if anyone has questions tonight, I'm happy to take a question. I'm going to come down because it's kind of noisy in here and let you speak into the mic. Any question is that there?
What tribe is your bloodline?
Bear Clan of Lake Huron. You know, much is
Bear Clan of Lake Huron. I just did the DNA April Fool's Day last year. And, one of my biological sisters that I just met on April Fool's Day, she did our family tree back to the 1400s and the Bear Clan of Lake Huron.
Do you have your tribal affiliation yet?
I just found this out.
You just found this out.
I just found this out.
What's your top first, your second, and your third favorite oils?
Okay, my first, second, and third oils are not one oil. Okay, not just one oil. I have my favorite ones that work for me. I will douse out every morning. Do I need this one or do I need that one? If I start feeling like something's off balance. Everybody knows when something's off balance. So my first recipe is 4 drops of RC, 4 drops of Christmas spirit, 5 drops of lemongrass. That is one recipe. Other recipe is our favorite 12 drops of thieves, 6 oregano, and 2 sacred frankincense in a capsule, in the bowl. Down she goes with a full glass of water. If not, you can know. I'm playing anywhere. Thieves. Who doesn't love thieves? On the back of the mastoid glands, on the plane. You can't catch anything on a plane. Not with thieves. Anyone else have a question? So I you to come and so the question was, do we put the dowsing, remember dowsing for the oil, beholding in our solar plex? Is it in my highest and best interest to use this oil? I should move towards it, or okay. The first one is the 4 drops RC, 4 drops of Christmas spirit, and 5 drops of lemongrass. Sometimes they call that the AV. And the AV, as in boy, I call that one, that's 12 drops of thieves, 6 oregano, and 2 sacred frankincense. Yeah. Woo! Oh.